Well, thank you very much. Hello, Atlanta. How's everyone doing this afternoon? Good? You having a good time? Excellent. Well, at this time, I'd like to introduce you to a very special man in my life. Please give a warm welcome to my husband, Jason Reinhart. Hi there, handsome.
How you doing, hon?
I'm doing well, thank you. Well, I have a question for all of you. I want to know, by a show of hands, how many of you this morning asked yourself before coming here, what am I going to wear?
Janelle, I think we need to rephrase this question.
Oh,
How
yeah?
many ladies here ask their husbands, what am I going to wear? I'm going to a fashion show. Everybody's going to be there. And I think this is a very funny question because women, a lot of times, they have to talk these things out, and in the morning, they ask their husbands what they're going to wear. And realistically, before they married their husband didn't dress that well. And did you know that a large percentage of men are colorblind? So we need to be careful who we ask how we're going to dress.
I know. Well, it does seem like a fairly insignificant question, but it's actually a question that has changed my life and has actually brought me here to where I am today. Sometimes insignificant questions that we answer in our teenage years actually have long-term effects on our future. And so I'd like to just share with you a little story. When I was 12 years old, my parents came into my room one night and they said, Janelle, tonight's the night we start praying for your future spouse. And I was like, what? I'm 12. I'm not getting married tomorrow. And they're like, I know, but you have to realize that you don't know where your husband is, and you don't know how much older he is or how much younger he is than you, so you don't know. He might need your prayers right now. And I was like thinking about it. I'm like, well, I guess it can't hurt. So from that night on, every night when my parents would kiss me goodnight, we would pray for my future spouse. And as I continued to mature, I started to kind of like dream about my dream guy, right? So I'm writing my diary and I'm like, I wonder what he's like. Is he tall and dark? Does he have blue eyes? And does he like to play hockey? Or does he prefer motorbike racing? Well, Lord, whoever he is, I just have 3 requests, really. And those 3 requests are what I call my 3 Ps. I wanted my husband to be a provider, a protector, and a prayer warrior. A protector? A protector in the sense, I wanted him to be able to protect my heart. Protect it in a pure way. Protect it in the sense that he would respect me and honor me for who God had created me to be. I wanted him to provide for me because I was used to a certain quality of living, so I wanted to make sure he had a good job and, and God knows the desires of our hearts, right? So, and then I wanted him to be a prayer warrior. And that was the first thing, because I knew if my husband was first in love with Christ, he would know how to love me. And that became my prayer. And I was about 15 when I first met Jason, and just before I met him, providentially, I believe, I went to a youth rally, and there was a speaker there, and he spoke on purity. And one thing that he said that really impressed me was, he said, purity is not just about purity in body. It is about what you say, what you listen to, what you see, and how you dress. And so I made a conscious decision that day that I would continue to dress modestly. And amazingly enough, shortly after, I met Jason.
And when I met Janelle, that was one of the things I really respected about Janelle and really remember about her as a young lady was her purity, her purity in dress, her purity in speech. She never said ill words about friends, and she was consistent in this. She was always saying nice things about people. And also the things that she would read or the things that she would see on TV, she was careful what she put into her mind. She was very consistent, and it was her innocence and her purity that really attracted me to her.
And I think that consistency is the key point. I work with challenge clubs across North America, and I work with a special group of girls from Edmonton. And the thing that breaks my heart the most, I think, is when I see these great girls, these good girls, and all of a sudden, we are so bombarded by so much advertising and everything else, they think, I'm just going to dress around the house in this kind of, not really like immodest, just maybe a little riskier, So I'm just around the house, and, my family knows that I'm okay, and my friends, they know who really I am. And then all of a sudden you have to do like a little trip to the mall. So you go to the mall, and you're wearing the outfit, and pretty soon you're surrounded by people that don't really know who you are. And one thing that I want to share with you is to always remember, young women, when you go out, you are an ambassador for not only yourself as a child of God, but for Christ. And it's important that what you wear represents who you are.
I remember when Janelle and I getting to know each other, and we really made a stand for purity, and we were talking one night, and things were really going good, and we decided, wouldn't it be cool if we waited until we get married until we kissed? And we looked at each other like, is that really possible? That's not really possible. And we decided, no, we're going to do it. And that way, if we didn't get married, we didn't give each other away to anybody else. And we made that decision.
We had everything to gain and nothing to lose. And that was just another step in our relationship with the purity that we tried to exemplify with one another, but also for our peers. And so when we were married July 10th, 1999, Jason, for the first time, told me, I love you, and also kissed me for the first time. It was our first kiss on our wedding day for our vows. And a lot of people think that's fairly extreme. Not everybody's called to that, but we knew that extreme evil calls for extreme good. And if we want to create a counter-revolution to the revolution of immodesty, we have to do it in our own lives. Have to start with us. And so we are witnesses to God's goodness in our lives, that when you are faithful in little things, he can bless you in the big things. Christ never called us to be successful. He only called us to be faithful. And so I pose you the question, what will you wear today?